Okay guys, good morning. I am up. I am getting ready right now. I gotta figure out how to get to the airport from here. I'm not sure if I have to go all the way to San Pedro and then grab a shuttle to the airport, or if there is one that goes out to the airport from here. So I gotta figure that out, talk to some people here and see what I do. But it's go home day, so I'll be traveling here from San Pedro Sula to Fort Lauderdale, and then Fort Lauderdale to Vegas. So I will be getting to Vegas probably around midnight. So hopefully I make it in every single flight, because I work at midnight. So I work at midnight tonight. So, well, I start my shift and we'll see if they call me, but most likely they'll give me a trip or something. But I will see you guys in Vegas or wherever I see you. But I'll try to record and everything, but it's going to be a busy day of me just trying to figure out how to get to the airport. So I'll see you guys later. Okay, bye. Okay guys, so I made it to the flight. I did make little gift bags for my flight attendants that are taking me back to Vegas. So I made them these little bags. It just has some candy and some snacks. But yeah, I'm on my way to Fort Lauderdale and then Vegas. So I'll see you guys later. Bye. Okay guys, so I am back from Honduras. Let me tell you guys, it was a blast. It was so much fun. I'm gonna break down this video a little bit about how much I spent and how I did it, because a lot of people have been asking me. Diana, how do you do it? How do you go on trips pretty much every other, like every month or every other month? Like, how do you do it? I do it in a budget. I budget myself to do these trips. So it's very hard to put yourself on a budget, especially when you're going on vacation and you're going to a new place, because you want to do a lot of things, but you have to budget yourself. If you don't put yourself on a budget, yes, you're going to overspend a lot. So for this trip for Honduras, total trip that I wasted for 7 days. Well, technically, yeah, 7 days and 6 nights. So what I wasted in total was $497 for those days. And that included my transportation, my food, everything, what I did, the going into the parks and all that stuff. So I'll break it down a little bit of how much I wasted. So since I'm a flight attendant, I get the perks of flying for free. So that's one of the things. We only pay pretty much the sales tax that we have to pay, or the entering the country taxes and stuff like that. That's all we have to pay. So from Houston to Roatan, well, Vegas to Houston, I flew for free. That's free. And then from Houston to Roatan, I only paid $58. So $58 to get me to Roatan. So once I got there, my hostel was so I stay in hostels. That's how I save so much money, especially on travel, because your most expensive things is your stay, your hotel, and your transportation to get there, like the airline tickets. That's the most expensive thing of the trip most of the times. Not all the time, but most of the times that's what's the most expensive things. And so when I stay in hostels, it's to save money, and you meet so many great people when you stay in a hostel, because they're doing the same thing. They're traveling by themselves. They're trying to save money and all this stuff and explore the world. So my hostel, the first night in Roatan, my hostel was only $15 a night. So it was $15 a night. There I stayed 2 nights. So my total there was $30. And so that's what I paid. And then I took out from the ATM, I took out $120. And that lasted me for a while because the food wasn't so expensive. And I did treat myself here and there on the meals. But other than that, I was eating street food. And so it was the cheap street food and stuff like that, and drinks here and there. I wasn't drinking all the time. You see some videos of me like having a beer or anything like that, but it wasn't like all the time. All my meals I was not eating, I wasn't drinking alcohol. So that's one thing too, because alcohol can get very expensive. So that's how much I spent there. I probably spent like maybe $20 in food in Rogotan. Well, maybe 30 because I did buy me a fish. But then I stayed there for 2 days, and then I headed to the mainland, which is Ceiba. So that ferry boat that I took was $29 to get me there. So $30 roughly. So it got me there. And then when I got there, I got a hostel, and that was another, I think it was $18 that I paid for that one night there. And so then I grabbed a taxi to the bus station. And that was, I think it was like, I want to say $5 to get there to the bus station. And then the bus station to the actual national park was only 40 lempiras. So it was probably like $2 to get up there. And then in the national park, I did explain how much it was. And I think it was, I think it was 400 lempiras. I think it was like maybe like $10 to get into the park, and did that. And then went and had dinner. I did not eat expensive food. It was just street food. And then I did have one meal, which I think it was the chicken meal that had chicken on there. And so that was a little bit more expensive, but that was only $8. So it's not bad at all. So then the following day, I grabbed the bus to take me to San Pedro, Sula. And the bus ride there was 180 lempiras. So that's roughly, how much is it? I forgot. I think that's roughly like $8 to get there. And then I paid another 160 to get to Copan. So that's what I'm trying to figure out here how much. So it was 180. So it was $7 to get me to San Pedro. And then from San Pedro, I grabbed another bus, and it took me to Copan, and that was like $5 to get there. So that was my transportation just to get there. So, and then when I got there, my hostel, the same thing. I think it was $18 a night. So I stayed there 2 nights. So that was not a lot. It was like under $30 just to stay there. Over a little bit over than $30. And then food wise, the same thing. I ate street food and all that stuff. At the ruins, I did pay $50 just to go into the ruins and do the tunnels and all that stuff. So that was the most expensive excursion that I did. Not excursion, but entrance fee that I had to pay. And that was $50 just to get me in there. So it was a little bit expensive, but it was so worth it. And then stayed there. And the following day, I headed down to, where was it? Burhapansepec waterfalls, and so that ticket there was only, how much was it? I think it was 160 to get there, so it was $6 to get there. And then I stayed in a hotel. This time I did get a hotel just because I wanted to get some time to myself and all that, and I only paid $30 for that hotel. And then I did the park, the national park, and I only paid, I think it was like $5 to get into the park, and ate outside there, and it wasn't too expensive, the food that I got. And then I did grab the bus to take me to San Pedro so I can get to the airport, and that was it was 60 lempiras, so that was literally, how much is 60 lempiras? I'll tell you right now. So that's literally only $2 to get me there, and then I paid another $2 to get me to the airport. So pretty much I didn't spend a lot. And then the way back to the States to get to Vegas, I only paid $70 for my ticket to get back to the States with the airplane. So that was very, very cheap. That's the breakdown of it. So I wasted roughly around $497. But that's what I did. And I did take out from the ATM when I was in San Pedro. I did take out, I think it was like another $180. So that's how I paid for my food, my transportation, all that stuff. So that's how I added it up. But yeah, you have to stay on a budget, you guys, and you can travel the world. You just have to learn how to do that. But if you guys have any questions or concerns, just comment on there and I'll try to talk about it. But that's how I did my Honduras trip. And then now I'm doing a trip coming up. Literally, I'm just going to work for 4 days and then I'm going to go back out and I'm going to Costa Rica. If that goes as planned. If not, then I'll go somewhere else. But I'm going to Costa Rica and I'm putting myself in a budget of 500 again, and we'll see if I can do that, and I'll break it down for you guys too. So I'll see you guys later, okay? And so I'm gonna end this video here since now I'm back, and I hope you guys like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you on my next adventure. Okay, bye.